New enemy confirmed. Okay, so we put out a video like a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, of a leak of the Biovore. And they recently confirmed it in a live stream for overall a Warhammer live stream. They showed off some Age of Sigmar, a lot of tabletop stuff. They pretty much showed this off for like 30 seconds. And also, I just want to point out, one of the hosts said they were level 22 PvPer. So that's cool. It's pretty funny. There's two hosts there, and one of them was most definitely enjoying some PvP. So that's funny. Okay, regardless, I wanted to do a little bit of a breakdown for this new enemy. I think this new enemy is well, okay, we will see. Okay, because a lot of people have been guessing if it's going to be a new major, if it's going to be a new extremist. I do think it is going to be an extremist. I do. And I'm actually going to be breaking down some of the data sheets. Well, I will be comparing the data sheet of the Biovore to other extremist enemies that are Tyranids, or at least what I can find. Here's the thing. I really want to understand what this enemy, or how we are going to approach this enemy. And I want to see if anyone has any good guesses of the mechanics around this thing. If it is an extremist, it could possibly be really annoying. Like, I gotta be honest. I really hope this thing doesn't just shoot spore mines and it can do something else, but it does seem to be the case. It does seem to be the specialty of this enemy is to shoot spore mines. So, you can even see the subtitle there. Oh, good. I can't wait to hit that thing. And I agree. I really can't wait to hit this thing either. And also, I'm hearing that we're getting a January update as well. So, will this enemy be in the January update? If so, that really catches me off guard. I did not know that. But okay. Yeah, let's break down this new enemy. Let's see what we can expect. I'd bet 5 schmeckles it has a shield phase forcing us to melee it. Yeah, like something like the Northrop does for sure. I mean, even Zoanthropes have shields. I think I know I think they're kind of kidding here, but I think they're kind of on the note with this. I mean, hopefully they don't have a cannon that is protected by a shield that we need to melee. Like, it's still going to really come down to exactly the mechanics of if this is an extremist enemy. There's going to be maps where this enemy can be a real pain, or potentially can be stuck in a room and we can just, you know, circle it, surround it, and take it out very easily. 5 schmeckles, that's no joke. So, here's the thing. The shield phase forcing us to melee it. I can kind of understand a shield phase for this enemy. I really hope this enemy isn't as annoying as it seems on paper. Like, every time, last time we discussed it, we broke down, it was a Biovore, and it has a cannon for spore mines. So now that we actually have a picture of it in game, I think we have a good indication of, like, it seems set up to have a distance, basically. They did show 2, and they did show it on a desert map. I'm not too sure if this desert map is essentially, you know, if it's going to be a new map. Dude, honestly, I gotta say, for the Warhammer 40k live stream, they talked about this enemy for a total of, like, 30 seconds, if that, so they didn't really reveal too much information. That's why I'm going down a different route to get more information on this thing. But for now, I just want to read some comments to see if anyone has any good ideas. A shield phase is something I am definitely worried about, though. No, not more flamer units. My poor bulwark can't handle any more flamers. Okay, yep, they bring up a good point here. This is going to be an absolute, this is going to be a headache. This is going to be a headache for bulwark mains for sure. Now, we do have a Neo-Volkite pistol, and I think the Neo-Volkite pistol, maybe even along with the bolt pistol, to be honest, could be pretty good against this enemy. I know the plasma can pack a punch, but obviously the ammo on it isn't the best. The thing is, the bulwark can likely shield some spore mines, but, like, yeah, this remains to be seen. But for now, we can definitely say this enemy is going to be a pain for melee classes. I think it's going to be much more important to look at your team and understand the ranges. You know what I mean? We saw a sniper lose a battle to a Zoanthrope. Well, I don't know if they lost the battle, but they had a troubling battle against a zoanthrope because he was matched up with a vanguard and an assault. And the sniper was using a bolt carbine. So I can imagine that team would struggle even more with the Biovores. The Biovores are a ranged enemy with spore mines, potentially shielded, potentially. Getting within melee range of this thing is going to be a pain. Dude, yeah, seriously, just look at your teammates. I wish we could see what weapons they were using in the barge, because oh my god, that would actually make it so cool to kind of like build a, you know, to like basically make a kit around what your teammates have. Like, yeah, for example, you have a Vanguard, you have an Assault, you see the Vanguard's using the Melta, the Assault has, like, the heavy bolt pistol. Hey, you know what? I'll bring out the heavy bolt rifle with the tactical today. I'll bring out the Stalker rifle or something like that, you know what I mean? That would be kind of a cool mechanic. Also, I'm hoping this thing doesn't start pipping out spore mines, because that's what they do in lore and in the tabletop. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. That's probably what's going to happen. It is kind of funny they mentioned flamer units. We do have quite a bit of flamer units in the game. Chaos, and I mean, the thing is, I don't think Tyranid weapons are like that unique, you know what I mean? So it's kind of nice they have the Biovore, they have a unique weapon. But, you know, zoanthropes are kind of unique as well, so... Sheesh, dude. Yeah, I'm looking forward to fighting this thing. I just, you know, I'm trying to find out how worried I should be as a bulwark. Gosh darn it, another enemy I can't parry. Yeah, I'm assuming we can't parry this thing also. Gotta roll, what a shame to my chapter. Dude, people really hate rolling a lot. You know, the thing is for me, the times when I roll a lot are basically the times when I'm just running over the Chaos Snipers. Nothing beats just rolling into like a group of them and just splattering them. But yeah, at the same time, rolling it can save your life for sure. Rolling a lot can save your life, but it can also look funny, so I understand why people aren't like very interested in the Dark Souls rolling in this game. But you know what? It's not a shame. It's not a shame to get some rolling done. We are athletic giant tanks, so yeah, just, you know, just enjoy the fact that they can roll on the ground and do some rolly things. Very, very cool. Oh my god, I think since I played Elden Ring a lot and they came over this game, I just really, you know, I'm very desensitized to the rolling. It's not something that really bothers me. It does kind of look funny as a heavy to roll, though, I'll give you that one. But yeah, unlikely to be able to parry this thing. Definitely going to be a lot of rolling. I can't imagine it being more dangerous than a Carnifex, so I do think this enemy will not be a Terminus. It will likely be an Extremis. But will it be a map unique Extremis, though? Maybe. When will we get the next update? Anybody know? Okay, so this is the small conversation. I also seen it in a video, somebody talking about the next update. This is a small conversation I wanted to cover. This is where I got my information on, well, this is actually the first time I heard that we might get a January update. Saber have said we'll get stuff this month, so perhaps by the end of January, if we're lucky. Yeah, this is the first time that I've heard Saber say we get stuff this month. I've seen somebody in a video say we might get something this month, but this is somebody saying Saber directly said we were getting new content this month. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully this is something that's true. I don't want to, you know, get anybody too hyped up about it, but it would be interesting to see if we got a update this month, because it was under my impression that a developer recently said that there wasn't going to be an update this month. So I don't know. I just wanted to cover this really fast. And okay, so I have the data sheet over here for the Biovore. So, Biovores. This is the data sheet of the Biovore for the tabletop. So, I'm not too sure if this is a smaller Biovore, but it does say Biovores. They did show us two. They did show us two in the reveal. And the one stat here, I don't know if you guys played tabletop, but there's one, yeah, also, by the way, does have melee weapons. So, there is potentially room to parry this guy. But, okay, right here. Ranged weapons, spore mine launcher. Yeah, that's rough. Range, 48 inches. So that is really, really long. That's a lot of range. That's very dangerous. Attack D3 though. So D3 isn't that crazy. Strength 6, that is a lot of strength. So basically from this data sheet right here, long attacks, not very damaging, but hard to evade. Those are Spore Mines are definitely very damaging, so I'm not too sure that D3 here is something we can rely on. But yeah. 6 strength is very high. Now, another stat I really want to break down, which is probably the most important one here, is the toughness. Toughness is at 6. For reference, I believe Captain Titus has a toughness of 4, I believe. And then the toughness for Terminators are 5? So I can kind of understand if the Biovore is tougher than Terminators, kind of. Terminators, Chaos Terminators at least, are extremist enemies. So I do feel like this is basically on the same level. Like something like Trigun or something like the Hive Tyrant, which would be Terminus enemies, would definitely have more toughness than this. So, there's another data sheet I kind of want to compare it to, but I think this data sheet says a lot of, yeah, even the Spore Mine Launcher, by the way, the damage is on 2. So, even though the attack is a D3, the 2 damage is pretty insane. You know what? There's a couple different ways I guess you could kind of break this down. Since there's a D3 attack, that does mean it's kind of easier to evade, I think. But 6 strength makes it harder to get a saving throw against. So I don't know. The 2 damage is definitely something that stands out now, though. But yeah, basically this data sheet is showing an enemy that is tougher than a major and has a long range, probably the longest range I've ever seen on a data sheet, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's go to the other data sheet I kind of want to compare and contrast. This is the Zoanthrope data sheet right here. Their range is 24, their damage is actually pretty high, holy cow. But the one thing, this is a little bit smaller than expected, I'm sorry, but the one thing I'm going to be able to basically compare this Zoanthrope to the Biovore, besides the range, that the Biovore basically has double the range of a Zoanthrope, the toughness for a Zoanthrope is 5. This is also an extremist enemy. Their damage might be similar. It's kind of rough to see here, small data sheet. That said, they do have an invulnerable save of 4+. Holy cow, Zoanthropes are pretty good. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, we don't have to get it. Also, wait, here's another, this is the reason why we're comparing and contrasting. Apparently, Zoanthropes also have melee weapons, and we all know that Zoanthropes are unparryable in the game. So the Biovore having a melee weapon isn't going to really define the fact that if it is parryable or not. If anything, from this reference, it's possible this Biovore, doesn't have any melee attacks in game. Anyway, 5 toughness is tantamount to like a Terminator, which kind of tracks. A Zoanthrope, Zoanthrope health pools and a Terminator health pool does seem a tad bit similar, surprisingly. But yeah, so the Biovore is going to be a tad bit tougher than a Zoanthrope. It might do a tad bit less damage initially, and then it has double the range. I think this is a very accurate way to expect the new enemy. Now, do we get the new enemy this month? I'm not sure. I'm not going to get my hopes up for an update this month, but, it would be nice if we got one. It would be nice if we got an update this month and they buffed Power Swords and Power Fists. Like, seriously, that would be amazing. That would be super cool. But, yeah, I do think breaking down these data sheets gave us a little bit of a head start to understand what to expect from the Biovore. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to be a unique enemy. Very unique enemy. And we might actually have, like, if a Biovore shows up as a team, we might need to stop what we're doing to just kind of, start to deal with that thing. Like, once a Biovore shows up, you might want to, one, identify where it's at, maybe play the cover to where you're at. The Biovore may very well make you stop the way you were fighting just to give it a certain, just so you can get your strategy down for the Biovore. I feel like a Biovore can definitely catch teams off guard as well. Not every team really keeps track of the extremist the extremist sound cue. That little ding when an extremist shows up is very important, because there's a lot of times where I notice that ding happens, maybe one other person on the team hears it, and then, they'll stop and look around a bit, and then we'll have a teammate just, completely ignore it and just continue going forward, and then, get stuck 1v1ing a whatever extremist, a Lictor or a Ravener. Yeah, but that said, I think the Zoanthrope was actually a pretty good comparison for the datasheet. I'm pretty satisfied with how we broke down the Biovore, what to expect from it. But yeah, let me know in the comments if there's anything I missed, if there's something that, if there's a certain quality of a Biovore that you're looking forward to, if you're looking forward to fighting it as a sniper, or how you're going to deal with it as a bulwark. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to put Team Synergy under a microscope as far as, hey, how strong are you guys at ranged weaponry at the moment? That sort of thing. So it can potentially basically build check teams, which, could be worrying. But that said, I think we did a great job of breaking down exactly what to expect. I'm still learning more about data sheets. I'm still learning more about the game in general. Invulnerable saves are kind of confusing, because what's really the difference between a invulnerable save and a saving throw, because I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know anything about that. But regardless, that is how we are going to look at the Biovore. It's basically going to be a tougher Zoanthrope with a longer range weapon with potentially less damage. So we will see. We will see.